I'm in a car I don't fit in. We're in Christina's hand-controlled LS-powered S13, which we did a setup on a few days ago, but she had a few issues, like a completely bent steering rack, which she's just changed, so it's going to be night and day now. It honestly feels like a different car driving around the car park.
Just said,
yeah.
So he drove it Wednesday, did a little skid on the road and came in and he's like, you can tell he pulls one way harder than the other, but that time it was better.
Yeah, it just had a lot of resistance, so no matter which way you turned, it never wanted to come back on you. And yeah, like now it's like buttery smooth. Yeah. Today's going to be a wicked day here at Corner Park. I'm actually driving a variety of cars. We may even get to check this out for a lap later on. I've got Cheeky's S15, you'll see in a minute, but that is a ridiculous car. 1,000 horsepower stroker, billet 3.3 block, like crazy shit. Sequential, winters, all of it. And we've also got Matt's supercharged Via, which is like LS supercharged, all the stupid cars. So we're going to have an absolute ride today. We're basically going to try and get their cars dialed and set up. They should be pretty well good, but also just give them a bit of coaching. Their cars are obviously crazy and they just basically want to get the absolute most out of them. So we're going to sit with them through the day, alternate drivers between, basically lay down lines for them to try and follow and build up their driving and make everyone as good as possible, which is all the vibe is about. Alrighty, so as you can see right there, that is the most insane S15 here, and I can guarantee that. I don't know why he's got a laptop out, should I be worried about that? So, if I didn't say before, this is 2JZ, but it is a dart block 3.3 stroker, and it makes nigh on 1,000 horsepower with Nitrous. Freaking ridiculous. We're not quite going to run that today, I don't think. We'll see how we go, but we've got, I think, some semi-slicks later if he wants to turn it up. And yeah, she's Wisefab front, she's Wisefab rear, she's quick change diff, she's Samsung sequential. Every freaking thing you could think of has been done to this car. It is next freaking level. It is one thing telling someone what to do versus showing. A lot of people I've spoken to and a lot of people I've coached in the past have said that you can tell them all you want, but seeing one lap driving the way the car should be, you'll learn far more doing that. And it is a really, really good way to go about it. You just have to have people that trust you to drive their cars, which luckily enough I do have that opportunity. So yeah, freaking keen to be out here. The weather is supposed to clear up. It's done raining, so but it's nice temperature today. Not 39 degrees like it was yesterday. So yeah, let's get into it. Too long till I realized there was no handle there. Again, just ease into it. We've got all day. Not trying to do anything crazy. Yeah.
Alright, so it's our turn now to jump behind the wheel of this absolute weapon. Now obviously the main reason I'm driving this, not just for fun, is to try and test out the vehicle and make sure it's doing what it needs to be and extracting the most that we can get out of the setup. Even though we don't want to put the car in any risky situations, we do still need to test how the car reacts at different speeds, different angles, different wheel inputs. So just getting used to the car in this first session. The car overall is pretty good. You'll probably tell too, it is extremely hooked up. It was on a very grippy tyre, and it made chasing behind Mark quite difficult, especially with the long gears. There's a 3:5 ratio in the winters at the moment, so third was extraordinarily long, longer than fourth gear in most cars. And whilst you could keep it together, it was very lucky it had the Nitrous as a spooling aid, or you would struggle to chase. Anyway, after the first session, I did have a few things I wanted to work on. So main thing being that it did overcenter slightly and need the lock stops adjusted, so we backed those out after this. And I played around with the shock settings and tyre pressures as well.
How was that, mate?
Hey?
How was that for a first session?
No, good. That first entry, I was like, fuck, he's off here.
Quick update time. You would have seen we took it out for the first session then. Far out, this car is ridiculous. It is hooked up to the max. He's on some, I'm going to call them cheetah coat tyres because they're street tyres that are definitely not street tyres. But this also has Wisefab rear, so this thing is hooked. But we definitely wanted to make a few tweaks. I was getting bind in the front steering, as you probably saw there. Had a moment where I wanted to correct back and didn't correct back soon enough. We ended up in the dirt. But to be fair, I was letting it float a bit too long there. And one of the reasons it's floating is it didn't have enough rear shock. So we've gone from 2 clicks from soft to 8 clicks from soft in the rear. The front is way too hooked up. He's on CRS Nankangs, and they really are way too overkill for drifting. Unless you're going, maybe if you're running like a 315 freaking semi-slick on the back. So we pumped them up to 60 on the front from 45. I've also backed the rear shock so we can get it to lift and take some weight off the front when we're at big angle and big load. Also backed the lock stops out to the maximum setting, so we'll just try and get rid of that bind. And his rack was moving around a bunch, so there was a big delay between turning left and right, which is why, like, when you turned out of a corner left, you come up straight, steering wheel was down left, and you turn right, steering wheel come back straight. He's got solid rack bushers, which I don't recommend in these cars. They always end up basically taking one sort of hit, flexing and bending the brackets, and then all of a sudden they move again. So we took the spaces, the washer spaces out, and have tightened them up, so it's crushed a bit more. Everything should be fixed, and we're about to go out and see what differences are made. Keen? Let's go, baby.
So you guys are about to see just how significant of a change all those little things added up to. Whilst the car was grippy before, it was quite twitchy and unstable. Now the way the car shifts weight around is completely different. The car is way more controllable, and as you can see, you can throw this thing at big angle now and bury the throttle and it takes it, whereas it was not doing that at all before. So me and Cheeky were absolutely stoked.
see, it can take some really, really simple things to completely transform a car. But yeah, that car is freaking ridiculous. But we're not done with ridiculous cars, because we're about to head out in this Wisefab. This is Matt's car. How you going, mate?
Hey, mate.
What's in this absolute weapon?
It's got a stock LS1, just head studs and valve springs, and a Harrop 2300 supercharger.
Yeah, an absolute monster supercharger that, as you can see by its big ass cow. So this thing has got all the torque in the freaking universe. We've just put a new lock kit in this thing the other day too, which is basically like a copy of a Wisefab off like V1. So he's just getting used to that and done a couple of sessions there. But I'm gonna go out, take it for a few laps and do my thing and see if we can get this thing even better. What a fucking good day.
See how long it lasts, man. You know what I mean? I'll buy a girdle for it. You know the girdles that you hold up.
I feel like your seat actually moves a bit, by the way. Have you noticed that? Yeah.
So in the first session of driving Matt's car, the only thing we made changes to was the shocks. I basically kept doing a lap, coming in, making some minor tweaks and driving it again. We actually ended up maxing out the adjustments of the rear coilovers, and I've suggested to him that we either need to revalve them with new codes because they are much better these days. It has got Shockworks in it, but they're very, very old, and I'd highly suggest that he actually puts a stock sway bar back in the rear. The rear isn't very consistent in the way it grips and unloads, so it's not very confidence inspiring, but we got it a lot better than it was, and in a later session you'll see we messed with the lock stops as well. So we jump back into Cheeky's car now, this time on a much slipperier tyre than we were the first time. They did not have a lot of grip at all, but that was pretty fun because it meant we could tandem with some of the lower power cars out there and experience how the car reacts on a different tyre.
So, we've had some jammies, we spat a power steering, oh sorry not power steering, we spat an alternator belt. In this car that can actually mean taking the dry sump belt off as well. Luckily we didn't do that, but we frayed both belts and one's gone. Got that fixed and we found out the problem is the block, this brand new block, it's actually snapped the mounting point for the alternator. Luckily it's supported in 2 other spots, so we put a new belt on it, tensioned it up, tightened it. We're about to bounce this thing off limiter, parked here to see how much the belt moves, but it's only supported out of 2 out of 3 spots, so we'll see what happens. Fingers crossed it's okay. If we do get to keep driving, we're going to have to stay away from high RPM and limiter, but that's fine because this thing makes all the torque in the world and has nitrous. But fingers crossed she's okay, and we don't have to call the day early. We'll see how we go. Alright, so unfortunately we have had to call it because, for shame, we have maybe slightly broken the block. We just tested it as you would have seen and it threw the belt straight away. So better safe than sorry. This is not a cheap car, it's been a long endeavour. This is cheeky. The absolute freaking legend who has given me the keys and the reins today to test it out. So super appreciative to him.
No, he's been an absolute gentleman, driving the car to its full potential. So I wanted to see what it can do. And so Marcus has done that and showed me what it can do. And now I've got to like fill or bridge the gap, which is like this. So I'm looking forward to doing that. This is to be continued. Once we get this all sorted out, we'll get back out there and give it a crack.
That's it. Yeah. And yeah, we made a few changes as you said earlier, so we made some suspension tweaks and whatnot, got what we could out of it, and there'll be more to improve in future. This thing will take over the whole freaking world, isn't it?
That's right.
Awesome.
To infinity and beyond.
But wait, there's more! We are back in the supercharged LS. He's throwing on some Sticky Boy 265s for us. We're going to wind the lock stops out because this thing actually had too much lock. I know, sounds crazy, but it actually does have too much lock. You can get to a point of angle where you just don't know where the wheels are pointing. It is crazy how much lock this thing has. Somehow it doesn't over center, but yeah, we're going to pull some lock out of it to make it a bit more drivable. We want to actually be able to use the lock stops to our advantage and get the weight to shift to the rear. So yeah, let's get that all sorted, send the hell out of it, and have some fun. The sun has just come out too, which is primo. Time for a slushy.
I don't like this though.
Yeah. You don't have a handbrake yet either.
guys like the video and leave a comment on it because it helps the algorithm and you help Marcus out.
That's it. Help a brother out. So we're out here finishing the day off, just chopping some Lamborghinis in the mighty Big Red. Yeah, no, I don't think we'd have a chance at that one. But we did have an absolutely freaking ridiculously good day. It was good, chill vibes. Victory Members Day, if you don't know, it's basically for the drivers. There's no spectators. And it's just a super chill, good vibe day, barbecue at lunch. Unreal. And obviously, yeah, getting the opportunity to drive some pretty cool fucking cars. And it's really cool to see their reactions from the passenger side of their own cars. Because I guess, like, I mean, I would feel weird somebody else driving my car. And it's pretty cool that those people trust me to do that. And seeing their reactions from it was pretty damn wild. And we made some massive improvements to a lot of cars. Another one, as you would have seen, I'm so stoked with how Christina's driving now. That car is like transformed and it's now showing that she can really drive. And I'm keen to see what she does now at 26 when she gets used to it. So yeah, absolutely wicked day. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you to Lincoln for getting some gangster footage for you guys. I broke my camera, as you might have seen in the last video, so I don't have my external mount, so we were just running with the GoPro and filming from the outside of the corner. So hopefully it's freaking gangster, but from what I've seen it looked like a party and I had fun. Hope you guys had a good day. See you in the next video.